Hi, this is Elena from the Berwick Public Library, and we have some new books that we're cataloging right now that I wanted to share with you because you can start requesting these through our curbside service. And these are just a few of our new ones. I'll be doing a few different videos, and I have some junior fiction titles and some young adult titles to share. So first this is a junior fiction title. This is Tales of an 8-Bit Kitten, A Call to Arms, and this is part of a popular series of Minecraft books that we have available here at the library. And then we also have The Secrets of Winter House, and this is actually a sequel. The first book in this series is called Winter House, and I highly recommend it. I don't believe I did a review of this one, but I should do that for our blog. This is a book series that is perfect for anybody who just loves to read. It is very much Matilda with a little bit of Harry Potter thrown in, and it reminds me of The Westing Game, which is my favorite book of all time. So it's like a puzzle story, but it's also a love note to books. So that's The Secret of Winter House. And then we have Good Enough. And this is a pretty heavy junior fiction title. This one is about a 12-year-old girl named Riley, and she is anorexic. And this is a story following her inpatient treatment for anorexia. And our last junior fiction title I'm going to talk about is Winterborn Home for Vengeance and Valor. And this story on the front says that it is Batman meets Annie. And from the inside, it looks like they're going to be, the orphans are going to be working together to unravel the riddle of a missing heir, a creepy legend, and a mysterious key before the only home they've ever known is lost to them forever. That sounds interesting. And then I've got a few young adult titles here to share. This is Incendiary. It's a beautiful cover. This is loosely based on the Spanish Inquisition, and it's a story about a girl who is kidnapped as a child and forced to be a memory thief for the king. This is a fantasy story, and many years later she is now paired up with the rebel spies, and they're called Whispers, and she is involved in some sort of secret undercover mission in the palace. So that's Incendiary. And then we have Chain of Gold. And admittedly, I'm not too familiar with Cassandra Clare's books. I know this is the first in a new series by her that is set in the same Shadowhunter world as her other series. And I'm pretty sure the characters have some connection to characters from her other series. But if you're a fan of Cassandra Clare, then I'm sure you already know all about this. So that's Chain of Gold. And then we've got Camp, and I'm really excited for this one. Look how beautiful the cover is. This one is about Camp Outland, which is a camp for LGBTQ teens, and this story follows a boy named Randy, and he has a crush on another boy named Hudson, and Hudson's a very masculine guy, and Randy is not, and decides that he's going to change himself into being a more masculine guy so that Hudson will like him. And this is about basically, you know, does Hudson really like Randy if he never really knows who he is? Do you really need to change for somebody to like you? So this is a sweet LGBTQ story, and I love the little tagline on the front that says "Putting the out in the great outdoors." I think that's so cute. And then we've got Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. I'm actually halfway through this right now myself, and I am loving it. This is another story that she has written in verse, and it follows two girls, Camino and Yahara. And Camino lives in the Dominican Republic, and Yahara lives in New York City. And they are both going through the grieving process because there's been a plane crash, and they both lost their father in the plane crash. And what they discover is that actually their father is the same person, and neither of them realize that he had another family in another country. So this is both about grief, but also about family, and it's also about culture, and especially, you know, Yahara is dealing with being Dominican but living in America, and what that culture means to her. So this is fabulous so far. Like I said, I'm only halfway through, but I'm loving it and highly recommend it. And this is something you won't see once we finish processing it here in the library, is the cover underneath is beautiful. So that's your glimpse of that before it gets completely covered up in plastic. And then the last book is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And this is a prequel book to the Hunger Games series. And this one is all about President Snow when he's a teenager. And this takes place during the 10th Hunger Games. I did read this, and you do not have to reread the Hunger Games series in order to go into this. You can if you choose to. I did. It helped me kind of recognize some of the references to the later books better, but it's absolutely not necessary. I would not read this with no knowledge of the Hunger Games. I think that would be confusing. But as long as you at least know what the Hunger Games are, I think you're all set to go into this. And it's pretty interesting to see what the Hunger Games looked like at year 10 versus the 74th game, which is when we pick up with the first Hunger Games book. So that's The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. So those are just a few of the new books that we have available, and you can request those through our online catalog by giving us a call or through email. So we hope you'll check them out and use our curbside service. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in another video soon.